Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-March 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Aquarius. Totally fine if you find this video a few days before the middle of the month, a few days after the middle of the month. You'll find it when you need it. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you the meaning of the tarot cards as well as any intuitive messages I receive. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my channel. That helps me greatly, and also you'll be notified when I post videos in the future. And I do recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. We're going to do a column on what's wrapping up, coming to a close. We're going to do just a general what's coming through the end of March. We're going to do a money column, a love column, and in the fifth and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, a healing note, and crystal of the month. Let's jump in here, and we're going to pull a summary card. We have the card friction. Likely some of you have been feeling some friction lately. The other meaning of that card, though, is like things are moving, things are heating up. So there could have been some good movement for you, or potentially some friction. But let's see what messages I have for you, Aquarius. The first card we have is the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords indicates a lifestyle change, and it's usually something that happens pretty quickly. If you look at this card, both the horse and rider are moving quite fast there. Our next card is the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is a card of kind of withdrawing, retreating, and moving on. You see these cups are stacked really nicely here, but yet this person is still walking away from them. This is like moving on to something better. So I feel like there's been a lifestyle change for you that's leading to something much better. And then we have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is about waiting for results or having to make a choice. I do feel like a lot of you chose to move on. You chose to make this lifestyle change. Possibly there was friction and that prompted you to make this change. But let's clarify this column and see what other messages we can get here. The first clarifying card we have is the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is a card of newness. Anytime we have an ace card, it's a card of newness. With the Ace of Swords, this is new ideas, new mental clarity. Again, maybe friction was driving this sense of newness for you, but I'm not surprised to see a new card given the Knight of Swords, indicating some sort of lifestyle change for you. The next card we have is the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is a really good money card. It's about leaving a legacy, it's retirement, inheritance. Some of you could have chose to leave your job, maybe you're retiring. Some of you could have chose to leave your job for a better paying job as well. Or you could have received some sort of inheritance. This is like long-term money though, or large amounts of money when we see the Ten of Pentacles. The next card we have is the King of Cups. The King of Cups is very supportive, very tolerant, very empathetic. I think this is representing you, Aquarius. That's the message I'm getting. So this King of Cups, I feel like you've been very tolerant. Maybe things were really bothering you with the friction card, and you were very tolerant and very empathetic for a long time, and then finally you decided to make the move to make that change. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is just general, what's coming through the end of March for you. We have the card Moderation. Moderation is good for all things in life. Food, exercise, activities, inside, outside. Life's all about having that perfect balance, and moderation helps us do that. Let's see what other kind of messages we have though for you, Aquarius. So there's some really good cards there. We do have the Nine of Swords at the bottom, but we'll start at the top here. The first card we have is the Strength card. And the Strength card does mean strength, but not necessarily in the sense that a lot of people think it would. With the Strength card, this is a card of self-love, unconditional love, self-respect. And with the lion on there, it is about having courage as well. But I feel like this is saying like moderation and taking care of yourself too. Like you can do for others, but make sure you're doing for yourself is kind of the message that's coming through. Or You can volunteer, but don't volunteer all of your free time because you do need some time specifically to yourself. But the strength card is really like about taking care of you, giving yourself that unconditional love. Again, all good things in moderation. The next card that we have is the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups, you can see there's 3 people here. This is a card of friendship. It's also celebratory. You can see these people look like they're celebrating. But also if you look closely, they're standing in a circle. This indicates circle of support. So you could be like reaching out to somebody for support. Maybe you're overwhelmed. There's a lot going on and we're trying to find that kind of fine balance, that perfect place of moderation. If you're celebrating something this month, which is wonderful, maybe make sure you don't over celebrate it, don't overdo it. Again, moderation being key there. Then at the bottom here we have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is a kind of a card of low feelings. You see this person is quite literally sitting up in bed. This can be a card of nightmares, anxiety, grief, depression. Again, some of those low feelings. I feel like it needs to be, again, this is like all about balance for you this month, but this is about taking care of yourself. Again, we have 2 cards saying take care of yourself with the Strength card and the Nine of Swords. When I see the Nine of Swords too, this is oftentimes a card of worry. Like you're quite literally worrying to the point where you're keeping yourself awake at night. Think moderation in that too. Like, okay, I've thought about this for the last hour, and guess what? I'm not going to think about it anymore. I'm not going to give any more energy. I'm not going to focus on it anymore. So just a word of advice there is to make sure that you're not over worrying or over concerned about anything. But let's clarify and see what other messages I can give you here. The first card we have is the Hierophant. This is a very traditional card. It's a card of convention, expectations, conformity. I feel like you need to like get into a routine of taking care of yourself. That's what the message is coming through with these 2 cards paired together with the Strength and the Hierophant. The next card we have is the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is a good card. It's a card of being resourceful. It's like using your time wisely, maybe using your resources appropriately. So knowing when to ask for help is always good, Aquarius. Also a card of fertility. Some of you could be celebrating a baby, grandchild, some fertility news. Then at the bottom here we have the World card. The World card is about completing a goal or lesson. It's completion. You see this has gone full circle. The world has gone full circle. It could also be a card of travel. So some of you could be traveling in the remainder of March. Some of you could be worried about travel, or you could be worried about something coming to an end. It does seem like something you've moved on. There was a lifestyle change. We had the 8 of Cups where you moved on from something. Some of you could be like worried about this transition still, this ending point. However, it seemed really positive. It seemed like it was a really good move for you. And for some of you, there's something you've been worried about, and this is just indicating your worries are going to come to an end here through March. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to money. So think career, job, finances, businesses you run, investments you have, anything associated with money. And let's see what messages we have there. All right. The first card we have is the King of Cups. The King of Cups is a card, again, of being supportive, tolerant, empathetic. We had the King of Cups a little bit earlier as well. This continues to be you. I do see that some of you are going to be moving into a leadership role. And for those of you that are already in a leadership role, I'm getting that you like need to hear your peers and hear your employees this month. Being empathetic seems to be a key point there. The next card that we have is the Fool card. The Fool card is a card of like new beginnings. It's the first card of the major arcana. It's like truly that new start. It's fresh hope, taking chances, going on a new path, adventure, some sort of new beginning. Again, I do think some of you are going through a career change, so this could be a new job for you. This could be a new position. Maybe, again, some of you are moving into that leadership position. Some of you could be starting a business. There's definitely some newness associated with money here, though. And then at the bottom, we have the Ace of Cups. Again, anytime of an Ace card, it's a card of newness, Specifically, the Ace of Cups typically indicates a new baby, relationship, marriage, proposal. This could be a new business proposal for you. Again, it could be a new business opportunity to move into a leadership role. It could be a new job offer altogether, or some sort of new relationship. Maybe as you're being empathetic with an employee, you'll build a better relationship, just kind of understanding where they're coming from and what they're going through. Let's see here though. For clarifying cards, the first one we have is the Two of Pentacles. The Two of Pentacles is about like multitasking and weighing your options. You see he's kind of juggling these two things in his hand in this card. That's on top of that King of Cups, so it makes sense for those of you that are leaders. You probably do a lot of different things going on. But again, about being empathetic, it needs to be like balancing work, but not being like emotionalist to the people that you're working with. So finding that perfect balance. Then the next card we have is the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is again fast-paced lifestyle change. We had that card earlier as well. There does seem to be a shift for you. So you have two change cards on top of each other, or two new cards on top of each other. Definitely some of you will be getting a new job, new position, new business, new investment, something of that sort. Then at the bottom we have the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands is speed of action, quick change. So same thing. I do think this will be like a new business proposal or a new relationship on the money front for you. It'll just happen quickly. This is something that may be coming out of the blue for you. Or some sort of news coming in. So it could be news of that business proposal, new employee, new coworker, something along those lines. Now let's move into our fourth column, which is anything related to love. So this could be family, friends, relationships, children. Again, anything love-like. The first card that we have is the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is a card of being very generous. It's about giving or receiving help. I'm getting the feeling that like some of you could be asking for support from your partner or from your parents or your friends going into the end of this month. Totally fine. When you need help, make sure you ask for help. We'll clarify that card and see what comes up. But again, I feel like more of this is more asking than giving. Not to say that some of you might not be giving. The next card that we have is the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is a card of like having to defend yourself or feeling like there's competition. You see this person is standing here with their one wand and all these other wands are trying to hit them. So you could be having a somewhat defensive relationship this month. Like maybe you are feeling like you're having to defend your relationship or defend your relationship decisions. There just seems to be some self-defense there for you, Aquarius. Then at the bottom, we have the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is an interesting card. It looks kind of gloomy, but it's a card I actually really like. If you look, these people's heads are facing away from us. They're hanging low. And there's all the swords stuck in the boat. The nice thing about the Six of Swords is this is a necessary transition. It's like something that needs to happen. So there's some sort of love transition happening for you that's necessary for you, Aquarius. This could actually be moving too. Sometimes when we see the Six of Swords, there could be moving. That could be why you're being asking for help as well. Moving is always a task. But let's see what clarifying messages I can give you here. We have the Six of Pentacles coming up again at the bottom. We'll get to that in just a second. We'll start at the top here. The first card we have is the Fool card. We had the Fool earlier as well. Again, this is new beginnings, fresh starts, first card of the Major Arcana. So it's really that new path. Some of you could be entering into a new relationship. Some of you could be asking for help for the first time. But not super surprised to see this because we do have the Six of Swords. So we're entering into some sort of transition or new period for you in terms of love, friendship, family, relationships. The next card that we have is the Star card. The Star card's a good card. It's a card of like renewing your energy. It's having clarity. I feel like it's like picking you up, which is really good because it is on top of this self-defense card. I feel like you're going to get some sort of reassurance or no longer be in the position where you feel like you're constantly defending yourself, Aquarius, which is good. This is like your energy is being renewed. That's being kind of put to bed there. Then we have the Six of Pentacles. For those of you that watch my videos before, you know I like when we get repeat cards because it's really clear message from the universe. This is again saying ask for help when you need it. If it's help moving, if it's help going through this transition in life. Again, I do feel like there will be some of you asking for help this month. Now let's move into our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guides. So something to carry into the month of March with you, the end of the month here. We have the card context. This is like making sure that you have all the details before you make decisions. But let's see what kind of messages I can give you here. The first card we have is the Two of Swords. Conveniently, the Two of Swords is a card of making decisions. So likely you'll be having to make a decision. Also, this person is blindfolded. I was just telling you with the context card, make sure that you have all the information before you make a decision. Then we have a person that's blindfolded making a decision. So again, my message to you is going to be make sure you have all the information before you make the decision. The next card that we have is the Queen of Wands. This is very confident, very self-assured. I think some of you are going to think you know all the details and you don't. Again, we'll clarify this column. And at the very bottom here, we have the Knight of Wands. This is very free-spirited, very creative. I feel like you're going to be entering into a creative period. This is going to be something that's really freeing for you when you do make this decision. But the big message here is like make sure you have all the information before you make the decision. But let's, again, clarify. The first clarifying card we have is the Hermit. This is about going within for clarity. You see this light here. That's the light that's inside of you. But again, make sure you know all the details before you make the decision. This is also a reminder to be making decisions based on what's good for you, living your own personal quest, your own personal truth. The next card we have is the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is the card of like Prince or Princess Charming. It's that knight in shining armor. Very romantic, very proposal-like. So I do feel like there's going to be something that's really appealing, but again, you need to make sure you have all of the information before you make a decision. You need to make sure it's what you want. Just because it's appealing doesn't mean it's what you want or you're on your personal quest. And that's paired with the Queen of Wands, which is again very confident and self-assured. So make sure you're aligned with what you truly want. Then at the bottom here we have the Knight of Pentacles. This is very reliable, very hardworking, but a key word that's associated with the Knight of Pentacles is patience. So again, don't jump into making decisions without having all the details. It'll be very freeing, lots of free energy, very creative energy on the other side, but it's about making sure you know the facts before you make the decision. Now, at this time, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use the Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck for this. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But for question number 1, we have the 7 of Hearts. This is number 21 card. That's going to be a yes. Question number 2 is going to be the Queen of Spades. This is number 42 card. That's also a yes. And for question number 3, we have the 7 of Clubs. This is the number 20 card. That's also going to be a yes. So you have yes, yes, yes across the board, Aquarius. We're going to take a look at our healing stone. So if you watched your March video, I did pull a healing stone already. And the crystal you had this month was heliotrope. This is good for protection, making sure you can differentiate what's going on. It fends off spiritual and emotional assaults, and it really helps you set clear boundaries. And last but not least, we're going to pull a card from our healing note deck because we can always use more healing. That note says, get over your hill and see what you find there with grace in your heart and flowers in your hair. Thank you so much, Aquarius, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, if you subscribe, you'll be notified when I post videos in the future, and that does help me very much. Also, if you'd like to make a donation, I did include my Venmo in the comments box. But thank you so much, Aquarius, and have a wonderful rest of your March.